Listen, my dears, as I begin this tale, for one is strange, your face is yet to pale. A sad beginning, but a happy end. Toward this child, how much more will he send? For brand new settings, no one is ready. Against his will, he is forced, this Freddy, to move across the world from his home. All around this place he must have to roam. A change in living, friends he'd have to make. Stay strong he would, social life was at stake.
Starting at a new school was a big fear. All his nervous worries he wished to clear. Excited, ready to start his new life, hopefully not engaging in a strife. He walked into his first class, time for fun. He had intentions to be number one. Quietly, Freddy sat, scared and alone. No one spoke. Freddy was in his own zone. A girl sat at his right, with a pure smile. He felt like he could stare for a long while.
Her hair dark and silky, pinned in a braid. Freddy began to tremble. His mind had not been made. She looked over at him, the girl with chocolate brown eyes, but for some reason all Freddy felt was butterflies. He wanted to talk to her, but the words didn't come. Poor Freddy opened his mouth only to say,
Hi, my name is Freddy.
Embarrassed and red, the poor boy couldn't do anything but lower his head.
Don't be scared. I promise I don't bite.
But when Freddy looked up, his face was pale white.
The bell sounded sharply at exactly 7:30. It saved Freddy from his failed attempts at being flirty. As the day continued, Freddy couldn't help but see that from this mystery girl, he would never be free.
For when he entered every class, there sat the girl. Her presence was enough to make him want to hurl. Then at lunch he saw her again. This time she decided to talk to him.
So, Freddy, let me take a guess. After lunch, you have gym?
He was sweaty and scared, but slowly answered.
Yes. Freddy, you need to get it together. You're a mess.
As the days had moved along, Freddy slowly began to see less wrong. He started to build more confidence in him. Finding new friends, his life was not as dim. 'Twas Jacob that introduced him to most. The least Freddy could do is boast. Jacob was such a great friend, and that's what made little Freddy blend. They were now the best of buddies, from playing tag at recess to after-school studies. There were times that Freddy felt used, but he didn't mind because he knew others were amused. Popularity clearly started to become a concern, so Freddy decided to not discern. Poor Freddy was like Jacob's little gup puppy, following him around like a lost guppy. From carrying his books around school, Freddy slowly began to feel like a tool. While Jacob bossed him around, Freddy would obey and not make a sound.
So Freddy chugged along all day and all night this way, but knowing that he would see the girl every day. Something to look forward to, something that gave him joy. Finally he spoke. She looked at him in annoy.
So now you finally talk. What happened before?
I don't know. I just had nothing to care for.
Freddy told her his miserable story. This needed to be shared. He couldn't keep it inside. No longer could this be bared. And she listened quietly and in shock. And in the end, she burst out in a laughing mock.
She reacted not kind, not nice. She laughed not once, not twice, but thrice. The next day he heard Jacob say,
Still crying, Freddy?
the girl was not who he had intended. Her nice manner, her nice looks were just embedded, but what was underneath was something much, much worse.
She made people believe, but really she said a curse. He had trusted her with his tale, but his attempt at this was yet another fail. Twice now Freddy has been made to feel like a fool. Is this truly the cost of this hell called high school? Devastation and oppression is what Freddy then suffered. He only wished for the truth to be uncovered. The truth, you may ask, what can that be? The answer is, appearances are often deceiving, you see, and you can consider a fellow like Freddie naive. But in time, wisdom is what his experiences will help him retrieve, and like a lightning strike, the epiphany struck, the realization that life without friends doesn't really suck.
Freddie's lesson has been well learned. He now knows that expectations versus reality can be twisted and turned. What you see is not what you get, especially with people who can become a mate or a friend. Truth be told that Freddie has not a single friend, but like every good tale, Freddie's story has a happy end. Therefore, he learned to trust his heart rather than his eyes. And he now has friends that will last until the day he dies. Believe it or not, Freddie has shed a new skin, one that he can feel mighty comfortable in.
That, my dears, cleverly concludes the story, leaving Freddie without his fame and glory. The demeanor is not always true. It is the inside that comes through. The personality from within, a reason for a real grin. From Freddie, find out how to be careful, for soon to him you will be greater than grateful.
Listen, my dears, as I begin this tale, for one is strange, your face has yet to pale. A sad beginning, but a happy end. How much more?
Then at lunch he saw her again. This time she talked to him.
So, Freddie, let me take a guess. Did you just go... That's the wrong line.
Twice now Freddie has been made to felt like a fool. As
He walked through. There were times that Freddie felt used, but he didn't mind because he knew others were amused. Popularity clearly started to become.
Then at lunch she saw her again. No, wait.
Still crying, Freddie? I should totally flip you off. Oh my god, was that in the scene?
Yes.
Oh,